Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening. Really just a good day overall, a good season overall to be a New England Patriots fan. Welcome to episode 18 of Tuck Rule Takes, the best Patriots podcast out there. If you don't know, you will know soon. I'm Mike Sullivan. With me, as always, is Liam McDade. Liam, what's going on?
Asa, dudes. How are we today?
We are doing very good. Obviously, like I said, we will get into all the reasons why with the Falcons game, what happened over the weekend that made Pats fans even more happy, and then next week's game too. But we have a guest. Last time you saw him, a recurring guest. I believe he's our first recurring. No, he's not. He's not.
Josie.
We had Josie. Yeah. He is our second recurring guest. Last time you saw him, he was criticizing Josh McDaniels. We'll see if he changes tune now. Matty 3TB. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, boy? What's going on, boys?
Right, Matty with the 3 T's.
Yeah, Matty with the 3. Maybe I should.
He's still so bitter about that.
He is.
Listen,
yeah.
When some asshole takes my name, I'm gonna be bitter about it. I'm gonna be bitter about it.
I'd be pissed if somebody took my name.
I'm excited to be here, boys.
Good. You should be. You were the only brave soul who decided to come on because I think everybody, honestly, everybody's just afraid of Patriots fans right now because I don't know if you guys know, it kind of happened a while ago. It seems like the Patriots played forever ago, but Thursday night, 25-0, goose egg. They beat the Falcons. They went into Atlanta, a team that does not play very well against the Pats. I think last time they beat them was like 98 or 92 or something like that. Some crazy thing like that. But yeah, it was a shit whipping, molly-whopping, any other term you want to use. 25-0. Pats are 7-4. I think we got to start where we always start, guys. Mac Jones, 22 of 26, 207, 1 touchdown, interception. As efficient as you can get, in my eyes.
Yep. I mean, besides the pick, which was kind of dumb, I don't think it's even that bad. Overall, he crushed it. Like, he didn't need to do a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot. He just took care of the ball and didn't mess anything up. I dig it.
There we go. Matty, I wanted to ask you because it took Liam up until actually last week. Liam was looking for a virtuoso performance. He was looking for a, I don't know, kind of a, that he was looking for the needle in the haystack performance that kind of got him fully, all pumped up, ready to go. What are your kind of thoughts on really just the game and then kind of overall on Mac going on this season? Because I know like I've seen you, tweet, talk about it and everything, but let's actually get you on record, on wax, so you can talk about it.
Overall, the game, it's Thursday night game, you have a quick turnaround. You're coming off of a big win against Cleveland. I certainly wasn't expecting another kind of game like that on a short week. Simple 25-0. You can't ask for anything else from that. Offensive side of the ball, not the world's greatest, but again, short week. Defense really kind of just carried the thing. That's what a Bill Belichick team is. It's defense most likely is always going to be better than the offense. Yeah. As for the quarterback of the team, Mac Jones, a few weeks ago I declared this on another podcast, but I'm on the Mac train.
Declared it.
I declared it. I'm on the Mac train.
Choo.
I'm officially on there. I'm on there.
Welcome.
Thank you. I know.
Mike's been driving this train.
I have. I got the. I was putting the coal in the engine. I was doing everything. I had the big hat on. I was waving people on the train. Come on, let's go.
All aboard.
I've been thoroughly impressed from what I've seen from him this year. Honestly, I'm removing my original bias about him. Aside for that, putting that aside, was not expecting him to overall be the best rookie quarterback in this draft class.
Far and away, not even close.
I don't think
was not expecting this at all from him.
I thought it would at least be a closer race. I figured, even though I hate him, I figured Trevor Lawrence would be up there or Justin Fields. I figured one of them would be right there.
Fields.
So
Fields.
it would be a debate, but there's no debate. And it's like, you said it. obviously Mike's been the conductor of the Polar Express. I just got on the train last week, and Matty B's apparently been on it for some time now. Now we're all on the same train.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks to be exact.
It's tough not to. I mean, like you said, I don't think I think obviously all Pats fans, kind of whether it was your faith in Belichick or just kind of what you saw in college. For me, it was all faith in Belichick because I don't watch college football at all. I'll pay attention towards draft time just so I kind of am somewhat knowledgeable about it. But I don't think any Patriots fan in their heart of hearts, realistically, taking your, blind whatever out of it, I don't think anybody thought that he was going to be leaps and bounds ahead of Fields, Lawrence, Trey Lance, I don't know, Zach Wilson. No, I think everybody thought he was going to be better than Zach Wilson, just purely because Zach Wilson's on the Jets, and that sucks for him. I personally, I thought that Fields, I thought Lawrence was going to put up a shit ton of stats just because I just thought that was what his year was going to be. And then I thought that Fields was going to be the one that was actually the better quarterback, because I didn't think the Bears were going to suck like they do, but they do. So
they do.
You are on the Mac Jones train though, right? Because I know when the season started, I know there was still some residual Cam Newton love that was still, I feel like it was putting up a barrier.
Yeah, I've always been I was a Cam Newton fan like back in his Auburn days. So I'm an Auburn football fan too myself. So it's like
that's so unfortunate.
I know, trust me, I know. But I was overjoyed when one of my favorite players is on my favorite team. Of course, I'm going to root for him no matter what. But he just unfortunately just things didn't work out here. I've accepted it. I've moved on. A lot of people online like to, remind me of my past as if I've like forgotten about it for some reason, but I'm not going to forget that. But, I am on the Mac train. He's been unbelievable this year. And I really hope this isn't something where it's like an unforgettable rookie year and then it's downhill after that. I do not want that at all. I really hope it's just he keep going and going and going and going with it. I'm not going to say he's going to be like, I'm not saying he's the next Brady or anything like that, but I hope that's solid quarterback.
But that's all you hear though. If you're going to compare him to anyone, that's the only comparison you're ever going to get from him.
I mean, he kind of
just because of the team he plays for.
Exactly. He plays
and like the way he plays.
He's playing like Brady did when they first brought him over. And I think with Mac Jones, I don't think we're going to get that. Cause I was thinking that too, Matty. I was like, fuck, he's having like a really good rookie year. Like what happens if the second, a sophomore slump, this and that. I don't think that's going to happen, because if we're just looking statistical and just kind of looking at him playing, it doesn't look like he's not blowing you away. What he's doing can easily be replicated and continued. I think that's the thing. I don't think that he's having like this crazy season where he's playing, outside of his, comforts, outside of his shoes, all this stuff. Like, I think this is kind of who he is, he's still going to have dips and valleys like all quarterbacks do, but I don't think we're going to get that big sophomore slump. Because again, he's not one of the quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts or any of your other more, Kyler Murray's athletic quarterbacks that rely on their talent and skill, or that you're that supremely talented. Because at some point, Kyler Murray is not going to be able to run faster than everybody. At some point, Jalen Hurts isn't going to be able to run faster than everybody. Lamar Jackson is starting to see that, where once teams figure him out or can at least slow him down running, he now has to advance his game. There's really none of that Mac Jones has to do. Obviously he has to advance his game, but it's not one of those things where he's athletically blowing everybody away. I think he's learning how to play the quarterback position, which is what we've seen the last 20 years with Brady. And like you said, I don't think I hope, but obviously this isn't going to be the next Brady, but I have no complaints. I have no complaints about Mac Jones so far. We start with him every week just because, that's the lightning rod of the season. He's kind of the big thing. Like I said, Liam, I think we said this last episode, the week before, it's getting boring starting with him because it's just efficient as hell.
It's becoming so consistent. Like even our biggest mistake now is becoming, well, he threw a pick. He threw a pick, one pick. That's about it. And we're always like, well, you definitely shouldn't have done that. But most of the time he's got two touchdowns.
No.
I think he underthrew it, and the rookie made a good play on it.
Yeah. He tried to look him off, and then it looked like he didn't really do it as good because we've seen him look off corners and safeties before. He didn't really do it as well.
But that's a mistake I've seen Drew Brees make many times. Like it's just gonna happen. So I'll chalk it up to him being a rookie, but I think it would happen. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. I just think that kind of happens. But as you were saying, I think there's a lot of pressure on Mac going forward because he's such a one-dimensional, tear you apart from the pocket passer. That's like he's not going to be a Jalen Hurts where he's extending stuff with his legs. He doesn't have to worry about what Mahomes does, where even if he's outside of the pocket, he's always got to work on his vision downfield. Mac's not really that type of guy. Even Brady can move around the pocket a little bit, finagle his feet. Mac Jones, we've seen it from him, but for the most part, the ball's out in seconds. He's not bothering. He's not playing around. He's not trying to juke any of these 300-pound guys. The ball's just coming out. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on him to improve his game in incremental, small manners, because this is kind of the game that he's going to be playing the rest of his career. He's not developing anything. Mike Vick early in his career, we're like, all right, well, maybe he could slide a little bit more when he runs, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he could take care of the ball. With Mac, it's like he's showing so many good things that we're kind of nitpicking here. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on him just to improve on the small things that he's got to do.
Yeah. I mean,
which is a good problem to have. It's a first world problem if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, because he's not. I mean, the Patriots, by the way, are in the midst of a 5-game winning streak, and I just came across this. I was just kind of pulling up some stats from the game. I was telling Matty before we started, I took a screenshot of some kind of crazy stats that are going on right now with this season in the Pats' 5-game win streak. Let me just rattle just like a couple off, just so we can kind of get, really excited as we start to dive into this. In the last 116 minutes of game action, of game time, the Pats have outscored their opponents 70-0. 70-0, which I think is the last 7 quarters, I think, too, is what it comes down to. I think there's a stat there, too. We move on. The Patriots have held their opponents to single-digit points in 3 straight games for the first time since 2005. Do you want to know the last 3 teams that did that? The last 3 teams that held in their opposition to single-digit points in 3 straight games, they all went to the Super Bowl. The 49ers.
2000s Ravens?
It was the 49ers. I don't remember if I got it. It was the 49ers, the Packers, and it was another team. I forget
Ravens?
It might have been the Ravens. I forget. But that is how good your defense is playing. Pats have gone over 100 yards rushing as a team for the 7th straight game. First time that's happened since 2012. So I'd say that's pretty good. Probably the best running back room in the league, if you ask me. The Patriots defense, let's bring them back up because I think they've been playing better than the offense, clearly. Patriots defense hasn't allowed a point in 19 consecutive possessions.
Disgusting.
That's wild. Gross. It doesn't matter who you're playing. That is wild. Patriots have outscored. We all saw this stat. They've outscored their opponents 175-50. The defense has allowed 0, 7, and 6 points in the last 3 games. That's how they've been kicking ass. Patriots picked off 3 QBs, which was awesome. First time that's happened in 21 years, which I thought we were watching a replay of the pick that happened late in that game because that was just bananas. This one, which I think is going to help once you start moving on in the season, over the last 4 games, the Pats defense has pressured opposing quarterbacks 48.5% of their dropbacks. So on almost half of all their dropbacks, they're getting pressured somehow. Horrible. It doesn't matter what it is. That's what's happening. This was a good one. Pats defense. It's like some weird trope that people have thought that the Pats defense can't tackle, that they miss tackles here and there. Pats defense missed one tackle in the Falcons game. 52 defensive snaps. They missed one tackle.
That's impressive.
Tackle. Yeah,
that's obscene.
Yeah, no, it's impressive. I think there was something too where the Pats defense has scored more points than like some of their opposition or something like that. Basically, the Patriots are fucking back is kind of what I'm trying to get to there. And I think a big part of that is the running game. Like I said, with the 3 guys, Stevenson, Harris, and Bolden too. They all had good games against the Falcons. I think, Liam, has your opinion changed? Because I think last time we spoke, and Matty, I want to get your opinion too. would you kind of gun to your head, you taking Stevenson or Damian Harris? This is a great problem to have too, by the way.
You can only have one. The other one gets shipped off to Antarctica or Detroit or God knows where.
Or just goes on the IR. I mean, you don't have to send them anywhere. Send them to Madagascar.
I like the dramatic effect, though.
Azerbaijan.
The one you don't choose is being shipped off to Azerbaijan.
Bajan. Stevenson or Harris? It's not an easy question. I think I have my answer. I think Liam has his too. I think you might be the tiebreaker.
Well, am I answering first?
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's all you.
All the pressure's on you.
Oh, shit. Me first? Shit. All right.
I thought you were just thinking this whole time. I was like, man, this is ripping him apart.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was putting in work. Meantime, he's just sitting there staring at us.
No. I was honestly thinking.
He's like twitching. He's like, I don't know who to pick.
Like from Drake and Josh to Josh Twitch like that.
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing. Like they're just both different running backs. That's the thing.
It's very difficult. They're very different, but like similar too, which is the difficult part.
I'm gonna give a slight edge to Stevenson just because he is. Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing.
Great train.
You dumb boy.
No. Mike. Here's the thing.
Right.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that before.
Back.
Stevenson is more of a power back than Harris is. That's my opinion. In my opinion.
You think so? I
think so. I honestly think so. And
they're
plus
power backs in different ways.
I don't think
it's
that's
weird.
Controversial or debatable.
No, but did you see?
He runs downhill. He's a downhill runner. That's what.
But so does Harris, though. Harris runs over. See, that's the thing. They're both so similar.
But when Stevenson is in the open field, game over. You're not going to catch him. Or he's just going to.
Technically, the defense is always running.
Or he's just going to stiff arm the shit out of you. It's one of the other.
Stiff arms. See, I think that's the difference. Stevenson.
So pick one. Who are you taking for the rest of your life?
He said Stevenson. He said Stevenson.
But no, he said he's leaning towards Stevenson. Is that your final answer? You're going to have Stevenson and holy matrimony. I'm going
to roll with Stevenson because I think he has more of a skill set than Harris does. Now he's only a rookie. I could be completely wrong by this.
Well, I mean, we're just assuming that they're gonna pan out.
I can see it now. I can see it in the headlines. Matty B says Damian Harris is useless. Ramondre Stevenson is the future.
I'm gonna start all the drama.
Yeah, the Twitter police is gonna come for me.
Yep.
But Stevenson,
you're being monitored
by like a hair. Stevenson by like a hair. That's the thing. It's by a hair.
That's the thing with these guys. They're both. You can't really go wrong picking them. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree because watching Damian Harris play when he's healthy, except for obviously the one game he wasn't playing, he wasn't healthy. When he's on the field, he does run into contact. He runs through guys. There's a lot of times but the one way that the only reason that I would even consider picking Stevenson over Harris, because when it comes to them actually running the ball, I kind of picture it as a wash. They both run kind of different, but kind of similar. They're both very good at running. Stevenson, I think, can catch the ball a little better than Harris. I think that's kind of what they're saying that he can do and all that. Either way, it's a fun issue to have because you take out Damian Harris, you put in Stevenson. People are like, oh, okay, we're not going to get ran over by Harris anymore. No, you're going to get stiff armed by Stevenson now. So it's like, either you get one guy that lowers the shoulder or you get one guy that tries to make you miss, but also just grabs you and pushes you into the ground. I don't think it has to be so co-exclusive though. Like just because Stevenson's a bruiser doesn't mean Harris isn't so much. No, they both are.
Stevenson's like, if you remember Chris Johnson his rookie year, they had Lendale White. So he was slash and dash. Chris Johnson was
he was slash. Yeah, I remember that.
Dash. Yep. Yeah. So Lendale was slash and Chris Johnson was
CJ2K was dash.
Kind of like this, where it's like Ramondre is just that up the middle kind of guy where you're just going to wear down the defense. So you don't expect him to get big runs. Like LeGarrette Blount was not the guy you expected to get big runs.
But he would wear you down.
But he did. But but he would, especially against the Colts. It was almost always a long run. But like Ramondre is just to wear the defense down. Damian Harris is the guy in the open field that can make those moves and take it the distance. I think Harris is a bruiser, but obviously he's not like a power back like Ramondre is. He's more like a Willis McGahee, where it's stiff arms. He'll run into the dude.
Yeah.
Running back's a very physical position.
Yep.
So he's looking to break the line and then get to open space. Ramondre's breaking the line and looking for the weakest dude to hit to open up space to go to the next one. So I just think they're different styles of runners, and Ramondre is more all around. He's got it. The hands are there. He could catch a brick thrown off the Empire State Building with ease. This dude's hands are made of gold.
Okay.
And I just think long-term, it makes too much sense not to go with Stevenson. And that's where it comes in, where it's almost a clear-cut option where you go with Stevenson. We're going to run the rock. We're going to bust the wheels off of Damian Harris. And I think we trade him. I think we get rid of him. Like any other running back, we saw what the Cowboys did with DeMarco Murray. They ran him, and they ran him, and they ran him. And then they sent him to the Eagles when he was shit. And they used up everything they needed from him, got assets from him, got him out of there. I see the Patriots doing that exact same thing with Harris for the rest of the season. He's going to be that guy. He had, 5 straight games with a touchdown, 2 in one game. So they're going to use him a lot. Stevenson's not going to get the bulk of the carries this year, but he's our back going forward.
So they have, I just looked it up, they have Harris until the end of 2022. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, because like getting that second contract, getting that, all important, second contract from the Pats doesn't happen that much. So
no, that's not with any team. It's just not the NFL anymore. Running backs are undervalued, and it's a shame. Unless you're, of course, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. Those guys are going to be locked down for a while. Apparently, Ezekiel Elliott's on that list, but it's just it's just the modern league.
Yeah. I think I would like if you could have him for, instead of 1 more year, maybe 2 or 3, and then or just 2. I don't know. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
The infamous number is 30, is where all the running backs except for Frank.
He's like 25. He's like 25 or 26.
He's got plenty of time.
So yeah, he's got time. Stevenson's a couple of years younger because Harris came in 19. And then Stevenson obviously just came in this year. So I don't know. I think
so he has another year on his contract after
2022.
This.
Yep. And then he's an unrestricted free agent in 2023. So they might pick him up there. So he might. Then after 2023, I think he's gone. And I think you keep Stevenson.
See, I'm calling it right now. They get rid of him this offseason, trade him, because some team's going to give up more assets if they have him locked down for a year. If it's just a rental and they have him for that season, then he's a free agent. You don't give up as many assets. If he has, I don't know exactly how many touchdowns he has this year. It's definitely like 6 or 7.
Like 6 or 7, I think. Yeah. 7. Yeah.
But I say he finishes this year with 10, high value, and then we ship him out.
Harris doesn't have a player option, does he?
No.
I exited it out. I do not.
I mean, Bill wouldn't give a player option to Damian
No,
Harris.
it's his rookie contract anyway. So it's probably a team option for the 5th year. And I don't know. I think you pick that up and then you trade him either mid. See, the way I see it, if the Pats are going to go with this more of a ground and pound type of an offense, you might want to try to, again, it's all going to come down to what he gets on the market, what it comes down to. But I don't know. I think if they want to keep this running attack kind of being their number one option, can't hurt to try to keep them both for as long as possible. But I don't know. Again, that's an issue. That's a problem we might not even have to face. So who knows? But yeah, by the way, Stevenson had 69 yards against the Falcons. Nice. Damian Harris, Harris had 56. So they're right there. It's an awesome thing. And I believe the way the Patriots are going to kind of carve their path here, they're just going to bully you. And Matthew Judon said it after the Falcons game. He said we want to be the assholes on the field. I think they're just going to bully you and manhandle you and just throw you around the field. And as the season starts to progress, you got to come to Foxborough when it's cold. You're going places where it's cold. No one's going to want to have to try to tackle Stevenson, Harris. You even throw Bolden in there too. This offensive line is just going to, they love pushing people around, it seems. So and
it shows with any team that they played. Matt Ryan, we'll use the last team as an example because that's fresh in everyone's memory. Matt Ryan's a bit of a gunslinger. He's not like Brett Favre where he's going to sling it into triple coverage a lot, but like he's going to put the ball in harm's way. But 4 picks, and a lot of those picks were just pressure picks, a lot going on where the Patriots were able to disrupt their offense. That Devin McCourty pick, no one was around. That's not a play that Matt Ryan makes if he's not under pressure, if he's not feeling, they're coming after me. He has Judon on his mind. He has Barmore coming up the middle. Devin Godchaux was killing it as well. There's just all these guys. These
Carl
dogs.
Davis comes out of nowhere, who Belichick signed in the offseason. Yep.
It's terrifying. I mean, he snaps the ball and boom, right out the gate. It's like a dog race. They're coming after you. And immediately, like, you got to get that ball out so quick. Whatever play they have written up is immediately like, he's looking at the short route. He's trying to get that ball out. And he made so many mistakes. And I don't believe those are mistakes that, a former MVP and Matt Ryan makes. Those are just products of what this Patriots defense is doing to other teams' quarterbacks. And we've seen it. In the worst case, they destroyed the rookie Zach Wilson, destroyed he had 4 picks too. And and he's just like out there. He must feel like he can't do anything right. He's a rookie just trying to get his start, just trying to figure out the league. And he's like, dude, I can't do anything right against this team. And then you have former MVPs that are also like, oh my God. He's like, everywhere I throw it, there's a dude to get it. JC Jackson, by an inch, would have had a pick 6 if he didn't step out of bounds. There's nothing these opposing quarterbacks can do right against this Patriots defense. And it must be the most frustrating thing in the world. From the top level quarterbacks to the rookies, we're giving them the same pressure, the same work. Baker Mayfield went through quarterback hell coming to Foxborough. Quarterback hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mayfield's never played well against the Patriots.
No, he hasn't. No. But like most quarterbacks haven't. Like Patty Mahomes struggles mightily against the Patriots.
Tom Brady had a bad game against the
struggle.
Pats.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone does. And it's just Bill does that to opposing quarterbacks. He's going to find your weakness. He's going to exploit you. You're going to have a long day. If you have anything less than 2 picks against the Patriots, that's a fucking win.
Mm-hmm.
He probably already figured out Tannehill, and it's only Monday night at 7:45. He definitely
he figured out Tannehill when he was in the same division 3 years ago. He's not worried about that.
Jeez. So we'll dive a little bit more into that after. But dude, he's still
you guys know what I meant by that though.
He's still he has because you think
that's what I'm saying. Every quarterback
10 days. He's got 10 days to figure out how to shut it down. Yeah, no, they Matt Ryan, by the way, only 100 or the Falcons in general. I'm sure you guys saw it too. $165. That's all they had on offense. I do not care who you are playing, and this is the Falcons. This isn't the Jets or the Lions or some shit team. Falcons aren't a great team, but let's not act like they're a team that should be kicked down the road. They can still put up wins. To hold them to $165. That is ridiculous. Like you said, everybody showed up. Judon, Kyle Vannoy, Barmore, Lawrence Guy, everybody showed up that game.
Oh yeah, Vannoy showed up so much that he got a random drug test the next day.
Oh, as he should. Hilarious. That dude had his Wheaties that morning. Every play he made was big. It was a turnover. It was an interception.
2 sacks and a pick 6.
Couldn't do any wrong at all. Mm-mm. And it's a clear trend.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. I'm good with the game. I'm going to pick my MVP soon. Do you guys have anything else you want to bring up about this Falcons game? It happened on Thursday. I feel like everybody forgot how crazy and how really, if we're being honest, boring this game was if you weren't a Pats fan, because it was just,
I was bored and I am a Pats fan.
It was 13-0 and it felt like it was 45-0. Like I was this is this guy, because in my head I'm like, are the Falcons hanging around? I'm like, not really. This is just a sloppy Thursday night game. And
I thought the Falcons would hold on. Me trying to go into like a better, I didn't bet with my fandom. I bet with a bettor's perspective. I got the Falcons to lose by 12 or less. And I was like, if you're taking, I lost apparently. Yeah. But if you're looking at, if you're categorizing this Falcons team, are they an offensive team or a defensive team? They're an offensive team. Yeah. Obviously, they're not a very good one, but if you had to throw them in a category, they're an offensive team. They got weapons on offense. And Matt Ryan looks so frustrated out there. I'm sure everyone who wasn't a Pats fan was just waiting. If they get one touchdown, the game was always in reach until basically the fourth quarter. Yeah. So everyone's like, if they just get one touchdown, maybe they can get on the board. And I was along with the rest of America. Like, I know the Falcons are going to eventually score. Yeah. And then boom, it just constantly quicksand, like lower and lower. The more they struggle, the deeper they sink. And then you throw the backup in. Josh Rosen throws a pick six. It's like, oh my God, get him out. They bring the third string guy in. He throws a pick. You're like, oh my God.
I didn't even know Felipe Franks was in the NFL. Like when I saw that name, I was like, wow, that's a name.
They didn't even give you enough time they didn't even have enough time to say that it was someone other than Josh Rosen. It was just all of a sudden another pick. And it was like, what am I watching? Like this
Felipe Franks drops never mind. Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm sure they had a cute little package to talk about. I'm like, oh, this and that. Nope. Just pick that's it.
University of Florida.
Which I think, by the way, that's kind of bullshit that the Falcons put in Frank. Just keep Rosen in. You don't have to put in Felipe Franks. His first pass of his life is a pick. Just keep. Why? What was the point? Like what are you afraid you're going to hurt Josh Rosen's confidence? I'm pretty sure his confidence is shot.
Yeah. Just when he said he was going to get more titles than Brady, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I also thought the Pats were going to try to trade for Rosen when Brady was leaving. So
I did too.
I think a lot of us did, but
I had the weirdest scenarios going through my mind. I was thinking Alex Smith. I was thinking Andy Dalton. I was thinking Matt Stafford. I was going through the list.
I was thinking, I thought Matt Stafford. I did not think Cam Newton at all. He was not on my list. Came out of nowhere.
I don't think a lot of people
always on my radar.
Cam Newton was not on my radar either when Brady left. Not on my radar.
I was like, sign him. I was like, get this man. I'd sign him to a max.
All right. Well, I mean, since we brought up before we pick our game MVP, since Cam Newton got brought up, he did return. He had a good game, but I see you guys putting your hands up.
Yeah, bask in the glory, Matty B.
I mean, he still lost, so I don't really know what glory you guys are basking in.
But they didn't lose because of him.
They did not lose because of him. Which
absolutely not.
If anyone's going to try to say that, they're wrong. But
their defense,
at the end of the day, it is still
time of possession says the whole story.
Yeah, I mean, it's still lost. He had the nice touchdown pass to McCaffrey
and the nice 24-yard scramble.
Yeah.
He had a nice pass to DJ Moore too for a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, he's not. You can't help but be happy for him if you're a Pats fan, or really just anybody.
He should have never left. Panthers should have never let him go.
That was a whole thing.
We'd be undefeated if we were Cam Newton right now.
Can you repeat yourself?
Yeah, one more time.
Patriots currently, at the moment, would have no marks in their loss column if Cameron Jarrell Newton was under center for them. Not one loss, not a single loss. It might not have even been close. I don't know if any game would have finished within a touchdown margin. Not one. I stand by that. That quote's going to be on my grave.
So I think if you're watching on YouTube, Matty B just dipped because of that nonsense.
It's not nonsense. He's a Cam Newton fan. I don't know what he's talking about.
So
Mike, I'm on your side on this one.
So I don't think there's sides. I just think there is not a chance
I'm on your side.
There's not a chance in hell that the Patriots are undefeated if Cam Newton is there. There's not even a chance that the Patriots have 7 wins if Cam Newton is the quarterback.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not.
I really feel this way.
No,
I really do.
This isn't a facade. You are truly telling me right now.
Yeah. Okay, Liam. The Saints straight up outplayed the Patriots on offense, on defense, and Sean Payton, he outcoached Belichick that day. He did. That's a loss. That Miami game, Damian Harris fumbled that game away. Literally,
that's a loss.
Week 2 again. I mean, friggin' Matt Corral from Ole Miss could probably beat the Jets right now. That's how bad the Jets are.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So they're like 8-9-0, whatever.
No. They lose to the Bucks. They lose to the Bucks because Belichick still would have made that decision. Bucks still would have. The Pats still would have missed the kick.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I think the Cowboys still beat them because that was a shootout towards the end. So I don't think having Cam Newton there helps at all because at the end of the day, the defense kind of let down. No, it doesn't. Cam Newton was not good here.
But yes, he wasn't good last year, but it was a completely
and he
different
still
team.
couldn't figure out he was still having issues figuring out the playbook. And
I
don't subscribe to the Mac Jones was teaching him the playbook, by the way. No. I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's preposterous. But with a whole preseason and then season to learn the playbook, he would have been much better this year. There's no doubt in my mind.
He definitely would have been better. He definitely would have been better, but I don't think he would have been better than Mac Jones is right now in this system.
He would have been. He 100% would have been better. No. Would they be undefeated? Absolutely not.
No.
Would they have around? I'll say
how
around.
How is a rookie not going to be better than a former MVP and a 10-year pro?
Yeah, but his past has nothing to do with what's going on now, though. You know what I mean?
But those are accolades, and he's proven himself in the league.
Yeah, those are great accolades. He made it to the Super Bowl like 5, 6, 7 years ago. That's awesome.
Still playing well.
Now I get
it. I get it. Update your resume. I get it. But last year, if you weren't a diehard watching every game Pats fan, most people couldn't name the Patriots receivers.
Most likely, yeah, most likely. But again, see that goes to the whole other thing where I think it was a lot of the decision, which again, Cam Newton even said this, and I think everybody said it too. He didn't have a good grasp of the offense, so it wasn't even really who he was playing with. It was really just he wasn't making the right decisions, the right calls.
And it's a notoriously tough
mistakes. So that's why, even though he may be, Cam Newton is obviously the more. See, I hate having this conversation. Is he more talented? Is he better? Whatever. Cam Newton is Cam Newton. Mac Jones is Mac Jones. I don't think in this Patriots offense, Cam Newton is going to be or would be better than Mac Jones. There are throws, there are plays, there are decisions that I saw Mac Jones make that just I don't believe that Cam Newton can make. I'll never get proved right or wrong because obviously we won't see it. But from what I saw and just from how he already said that how he was still trying to figure out how to grasp the offense, I don't think that he is better than Mac Jones in this offense. Not saying that he sucks because he's good.
I know. Maybe Cam doesn't have the touch or the decision making on some of his throws, but what he lacks there, he makes up with like 10 rushing touchdowns, and he gets more points on the board.
He had that last year too, though.
Yes, but he didn't have the passing stats because our passing game was terrible. Now we have completely revamped the team. No, because we didn't have anyone. He was throwing to Matt Lacoste.
No, he wasn't.
Practice
he actually was not. He was not. Nobody was throwing to Matt Lacoste last season.
You're right. But Matt Lacoste was starting.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. No. He definitely was given a shit hand. But even like watching people break down the plays and his play and everything, he was still missing guy. He still wasn't. And again, it's not really an indictment on him. It's just saying that I don't think it would have mattered who he had last season. I think he didn't have enough time to grasp the offense. And I think right now, Mac Jones grasped the offense quicker just because he probably doesn't have any bad tendencies to fall into. He's coming from a Nick Saban offense, things like that. He just grasped the offense better.
And he's younger. There's more upside. Obviously you're going to more. The same reason I said Ramondre Stevenson, you go with the young guy.
Yeah, no, I just don't think that Cam Newton would be, he is not a fit for this offense just because you have to
work out here.
There's too much. Yeah. There's just too much. It's not saying that Cam is a bad quarterback. I mean, he's proving now that he's not, he's just players don't fit in the Patriots system. I mean, look at Chad Ochocinco, Reggie Wayne retired because he came here and didn't like it. So
Albert Haynes, another name that everyone forgets was here.
So many players just can't come here and don't work. And I think that would have been Cam Newton. Your statement that they would have been undefeated is blasphemous. Ass a 9, ass a 10, ass a 20. It is nonsense, sir.
It's the hell I'm willing to die on. It is. I'll defend this till my last day. When I'm old and senile, I'll gather my grandkids around and I'll be like, listen here.
And you'll lie to them.
When Cam Newton was on the Patriots, the finest quarterback to ever touch the.
You're gonna lie to your grandkids.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna
your
tell
innocent grandkids are gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, Papa Liam, whatever you want to be called, Grandpa Liam, Mima, Nina, I don't care, Unk. They're gonna call you Unk.
Unk. They're gonna call me Unk.
Yeah, no.
But my friend's son already calls me Unk.
Oh God. Well, okay, Shannon Sharp.
We spent. That's a conversation for after.
We spent far too much time on Cam Newton. Good for him. He won. Panthers still lost. I hope the Panthers lose every game they play because I hate Brian Burns. Has nothing to do with Cam. Do not like Brian Burns. I hope someone grabs his ankle every single game. My MVP.
By the way, Mike, before we move on, did you see that? I don't remember if it was Burns or someone else on the Panthers defense that just like had like Taylor Heineke like just
Burns
almost
had him.
snapped in half, basically.
Burns had him around the waist. Yeah, Burns tackled him around the waist.
Yeah, he's complaining about an ankle grab when he like basically like could have just snapped Taylor Heineke in half. I hope he apologizes for that, because that's just mean.
Hey, I just hope Taylor Heineke puts out a hit.
Hunting.
I hope he puts out a hit on.
That's
Brian
how it works,
Burns,
right? There should be a hit out.
Yeah, that's what it seems like the modern league's going like. So I hope he tells all the other offensive linemen across the league, yo, hold the hell out of Brian Burns.
Nonsense. Yeah, no, I saw that. He Burns tackled Heineke, kind of slid down to his knees. Another Panthers player came over, basically scorpioned him. Yeah, probably not the first time. Will not be the last either. Brian Burns, I wish you nothing but bad things.
Fortunately, the Panthers play the Dolphins next week, so
the Dolphins are like putting up fights against teams. So yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, screw Brian Burns. My MVP for the game, none other than Kyle Vannoy. Welcome back. Yeah. I'm happy he's on the team. He had 2 sacks. He had that pick 6. I mean, great game. He had that sack where he jumped like 4 feet in the air, came down, and like you always see the defensive player get juked out there. But Ryan just can't really move that much anyway. So Vannoy goes up, comes down, still makes the sack. Kyle Vannoy, he's kind of been quietly killing it for the team. That's my MVP, gentlemen. Kyle Vannoy, KVN.
Matty, you any different?
I'm no different than that, honestly. You wrapped it up. You summed it up perfectly, Mike.
Thank you.
Look at you, Sully. Look at you.
I do my best. I wrapped it up like Mac Jones with an ankle. That's what I do. Not gonna let it go. Not gonna let it go, because that was nonsense.
That was egregious.
So Liam, sir, you are next.
I mean, I'm trying to stretch and reach here to find somebody else who would be an MVP to try and switch it up, but there really is no other option than Kyle Vannoy. He had maybe the best game of his life. Like, this was an all-time game for Kyle Vannoy. Like I said, every play he was making it to the best of his ability. I've really never seen a dude all over the field like this from an outside linebacker's perspective. He was doing everything, and other than that, I guess I'd reach for JC Jackson, because he had it on lock and key.
Yep.
Only 2 targets, locked down half of them. One of 2, 18 yards he gave up, and he had a pick. That's extremely insignificant for the offense and very significant for the defense. He would be my MVP, but it is Kyle Vannoy.
Yeah, Kyle Vannoy, 5 tackles too. And we have to congratulate Judon, got another sack. He tied his career high in sacks. He's got 10.5 now. Little bonus. Liam and I were talking about, Matty, how many sacks do you think Judon ends up with? He has 10.5 right now. He has to break 14.5 to have the most sacks in Patriots under Bill Belichick.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know.
I'm trying to think of the road ahead for the Patriots. Obviously, they got Tennessee on Sunday. The offensive line's been hit or miss for Tennessee this year.
Same with the Bills too.
Yeah, and then they have the Bills Monday night. We saw Indy yesterday. The Indy defensive line at times yesterday. They were getting to Josh Allen yesterday. And then the Patriots have their bye after. I think he can get to 14.5. I think he can get there.
Yeah.
I think he actually just gets there at 14.5. That's where I'd cap it off right there.
Yeah. Pretty conservative guess.
I think I said, what I say, Liam, 15 or
you said
15 or 16. Yeah, I think so. Because I think they play Miami at the end. I feel like he gets one there. I feel like Josh Allen runs into one. That's true. Josh Allen will run into a sack or 2 just because, he does try to keep the plays alive. I think he gets Trevor Lawrence as well. So, yeah, I think he gets like 15 or 16.
Oh, I think he's going to feast on Jacksonville, honestly.
I hope so.
Barmore might, too.
I mean, call me crazy right now. He has 10.5 sacks and counting. Chandler Jones is the record with 12.5. I think he destroys 12.5. I'm thinking, and I told Mike this when we were texting, I said 16.5 sounds like my guess. I think it's up there. He can get easily another 6 sacks. When you look at the tail end of the season, we played Jacksonville. That's going to be Sack City. Last game against Miami. Yep. Oh, it's going to be Saxonville for the wrong reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Last game against Miami too. The Patriots are going to have hell to pay after that terrible opening. They know they opened the season pretty shitty, so they're going to end it strong. I imagine this is another big sack game. If Tannehill is, you said the offensive line's hit or miss against the Patriots, it usually seems like offensive lines that go back and forth like that are a miss. So I would say there's another one there. Like you said, there are 2 Bills games. I think he at least gets one in those 2 Bills games, maybe 2, maybe 1.5 if we're counting the half staffs. But it seems like so many favorable matchups down the stretch with some pretty poor teams. Even the Colts, Carson Wentz, I love him, but he's always trying to make big plays. We saw it against the Bills, and it always seemed to work out for him. But the Patriots don't make those same mistakes. Me and Mike talked about it too. He kind of ducked under some dudes and ran for like 13 yards for a first down. Mike texts me and goes, yeah, Matthew Judon would have put a quick end of that. I was like, dude, he would have buried Wentz 6 feet deep. So, like, I think Wentz is going to put himself in harm's way too. I see him getting 16.5 at very least. I think he could push 17, 18.
Let me ask you guys this then, since you guys think Judon's going to get the most compared to me. So does he catch Myles Garrett in leading the league in sacks?
Does Garrett have 14?
Garrett's at 13 right now.
13.
And then behind him actually is also TJ Watt at 12.5. Does he catch either one of them, do we think?
I think he catches Watt because isn't Watt isn't he a little nicked up?
Watt's banged up right now.
Yeah, I think he catches Watt. I don't think he catches. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say he beats out Garrett because I think that the emergence of Barmore is gonna make offensive lines not forget about Judon, but they're gonna have to start to slide. They're gonna have to do something to try to stop Barmore, and I think Judon is gonna be the beneficiary of that. So you know what? I'm gonna go Bull. Yeah, I think he catches Garrett. I think he ends the season with more sacks than Myles Garrett. Wow. What that number is, it's gonna be what it is, but I think he has more sacks than Garrett. Yeah, I'll say it.
So I'll be the tame one here. I mean, unless Myles Garrett, misses some more games with injury, I think he's missed 1, maybe 2.
I think,
but unless he misses some more time, because Judon's made of hard-earned steel, pressed iron, he's not missing a game. So, like, he's got to hope that Garrett misses some games. I think that's certainly a possibility. Maybe he'll try and decapitate another quarterback and catch a suspension or 2. I don't think he catches Garrett just because his main goal, they're basically just like, go get the quarterback. You're not doing anything else. Like, he's fine in run defense, but he's all about sacking the quarterback. You saw his Halloween costume with all the quarterbacks on his cloak.
Yeah.
That's what he takes pride in. He doesn't really have pride in anything else. Judon's a stereotypical Patriots player where if he had 3 tackles for a loss and like 5 tackles and just did his job, run defense, it didn't have a single sack, didn't have QB pressures, he would still be like, I had a damn good game as long as we won. So I just think they're different type of players like that. He definitely has the green light to go get the quarterback, but it's not like Myles Garrett.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of obviously being a little bit more, fuck it. Let's just see if it happens.
I like it. And
I like it.
It'll be close.
If Garrett misses 1 game, I will come on here and say he's going to be exactly.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
that'll
game,
set him back.
1 game is all we need. And like, because I'm saying he's going to be pushing 18, which means Garrett's probably going to finish. He's usually in like the high teens, and I think at his best he was in 20. So like, he's probably going to be at the top of that list as well. It just depends on how much time he misses.
Yeah. I'll see it. That'll be an interesting thing to watch. We haven't really had that since Chandler Jones, so it'll be nice to see. It'll be nice to see a player kind of get pressure there. Get high up.
You gotta keep in mind too who Cleveland plays too. They got Baltimore literally back-to-back games, so he's gonna be chasing Lamar. Lamar likes to run around, so he might get one there.
Yeah,
I think that's difficult because it's hard to sack Lamar. Most of them are scripted runs.
It is,
and if it's a scripted run, it doesn't count as a sack. It counts as a tackle for a loss.
They play the Raiders. Derek Carr.
He's gonna get to Derek Carr. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. And then they got the Packers. He'll get to Aaron.
No, he definitely won't get to Aaron. No, he won't get to Aaron.
Might get like a half a sack. Might get a half one.
Yeah, he won't even sniff Rodgers. He won't. Rodgers' jersey will be pristine. He'll be able to use his jersey in the next game. It'll be so clean. Won't even be a bead of sweat on it.
Rogers is back, by the way. Rogers is doing his thing.
He is, yeah.
We've gone far too long without saying, guys, do you know who is in sole possession of first place in the AFC East?
I think I know.
Do you know? Does anybody? By a show of hands, who knows? I think we all know. Maddie, since you're the guest, can you tell us who is in first place in the AFC East?
Well, it can't be the Jets because they're a high school football team could beat them. Can't beat the Dolphins because Tua's their quarterback.
Yeah, no.
Let's see. The Bills just lost embarrassingly.
They lost.
Oh, Wakadoo.
They lost to the Colts in Waka 2-1. So that leaves.
So by process of elimination, that's the Patriots are in first place.
The New England Patriots are back, first place in the AFC East for the first time since 2019. The third seed overall in the AFC. You can say it's too soon to start talking about playoff berths. I will not, because it matters. Once you start to get the closer you get towards the end of the year, the more you got to pay attention to it. I'm paying attention because right now you're starting to see teams kind of come and go. Kind of the cream is starting to rise to the crop. I say that because the Chiefs are the 4th seed. The Chiefs are kind of starting to look like the Chiefs that we thought they would be. Yep. The Bengals are still somehow hanging around. Chargers are the 6th seed. You know who the 7th seed is? The Bills. I was told all last year, and I'm going to continue to stomp on their grave because I was told that the Patriots had changed the guard. They've handed over the mantle. They've passed on Captain America's shield. They've given it to the Bills. You guys had like a year and a half and you still couldn't deal with it. You had a first place schedule for 1 year and you couldn't hold it.
And what did that result in? An ass kicking in the playoffs.
Ass kicking, not kidding. You can dread it, run from it. Destiny still arrives, all the same. Thanos said it best. I said it now. The Patriots are Thanos. You are all screwed. Snap, bitch.
You don't want to give Belichick this kind of a lead. You don't want to give Belichick this kind of situation just because he sees it now.
Belichick spots other people leads. You don't spot Belichick lead. No. That's bad.
And plus, Belichick knows too right now that Buffalo. You still got to play him twice right now. Yeah, he's mainly focused on Tennessee this week. Obviously, there's this week's opponent. But the second that he's done addressing the team, addressing the media, all that crap, he's going to be in his office till like 4 a.m. or whatever, just studying and hammering any kind of thing he can get on the Bills.
Oh yeah, I mean we know Bill Belichick. He knows the football math. When he goes to the packy and buys a 30-pack, I don't know how his actual math is or his beer math, but his football math is on point. He's looking at these standings right now, looking at the Patriots in 3rd place, basically tied with the Ravens for wins. They are 7-3. We're 7-4. Thinking Lamar's banged up. He missed last game. We're about to play the person in first place in the Titans, which is a very winnable game. We are literally 1 week away from the playoff picture becoming more complete, and Bill's seeing this, and he's already thinking about the week after. He's thinking about the bye week after we play the Bills, and he's thinking about the week after that when we play the Colts. He is crunching the numbers right now. Scary, scary hours for the league if we're in this deep, this late in the season.
I think our bye week, too, is coming at the most perfect time.
Perfect time.
Just because you got a tough. I'm gonna say tough game against Tennessee because you don't know what kind of Tennessee team is gonna come into Foxborough.
Still a tough game. They're still first in the AFC. So
the Bills, they had that embarrassing loss to they had the embarrassing loss yesterday to Indy. That's still gonna be a tough place to go and win on Monday night.
Yep.
And that bye comes, and then I think it's the Colts and then Buffalo again, right?
I believe so. Yeah. I think it's the Colts.
People are scared. People are scared.
It's like that bye week is coming right at the perfect time because it's a break between what's probably the toughest stretch of the schedule on this year for the Patriots.
And I think they get
a full week. A full week to get ready for Carson Wentz.
100%.
You don't need a full week to get ready for Carson Wentz, but
you do. You need 2 weeks, but that's fine. No, that's totally fine.
Liam, you
that's
don't.
Totally fine.
Liam, no, you don't.
Oh, we talk about Wentz though. We're talking about Carson Wentz. He's out there duck hunting, killing animals and
If
slinging
anything, they got to
beers.
figure out Jonathan Taylor more than Carson.
No. Jonathan Taylor was set up by Carson Wentz in that game. It was all Carson Wentz. But
Carson Wentz literally just handed him off the ball and was like, "All right, Jonathan,
he threw the ball to him. He had a receiving touchdown.
Okay, he threw the ball. Congrats. That's what he's paid to do.
And he does it damn well. He's technically an MVP candidate right now. Granted, a far one. No,
everyone's an MVP candidate.
Carson Wentz, by my standings, is 5th in MVP voting right now.
Liam, just like Liam, everyone's an MVP candidate. There's no definitive MVP. Really,
in fact, I'm pretty sure
before you came on,
Matty B, you were the only one that came on the show. Me and Mike, both 2 separate times, sent out messages in the group chat. Hey, we're talking Patriots. Who wants to come on and talk about?
Yes, we did.
The next upcoming dynasty and the team that's once again killing the league. And crickets, just nothing. And I understand it because we have a Cowboys fan in there, and there's some poor decrepit Bills fan out there that's probably on suicide watch right now, and there's a couple Browns fans in there that are definitely miserable. Why would they want to come on and talk about the Patriots after they've just steamrolled their team or will soon be steamrolling their team? So Matty B being the Patriots fans like, oh yeah, I'll come on and talk about the Patriots. And he's like, oh, absolutely. Comes in and he doesn't give a shit because it's not his team, but everyone else, it's scary hours. People are on alert. People know it's good. People are avoiding us and the Patriots.
Spooky season. That's what it is right now. Spooky season isn't about Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. I said it, Matty. I don't know if you heard. I said it, I think it was a few weeks ago. It is scary hours right now. The Patriots are the Freddy Krueger of the NFL. That's why. You try to hide it. You try to forget they exist. You don't say their name, and then you hear the whispers. You hear the hey, the Patriots got Mac Jones. The Patriots got Jonnu Smith. The Patriots got Hunter Henry. Then those whispers, you know what they become? They become yells, they become screams, and they result in #1 in the AFC East. That's what happens.
Yep.
This is what happens. So
it's like the movie It, where it's like every 27 years or something like that, it comes back to terrorize the town. Except for the Patriots, it just seems like every year, except for 1 year, and then it was every 2 years, and now we're back. So now we're back to every year again, and that's just imagine if it came to town every year, like there'd be no one left in that town after like 3 years.
Yeah, you would be screwed, and that's what the NFL is right now. They are screwed.
Most definitely screwed.
Yeah. So the Pats they're killing it right now in their 6-game stretch. They got 2 games left. They got the Titans this weekend and the Bills next weekend. These are probably the 2 most important games. I think how these 2 games go will dictate how important the 2 games after the bye are, which are the Colts and the Bills again. So you're going up against the Titans. I kind of want to do a quick little preview on this before we kind of wrap it up, shoot a little shit at the end, and then dip out. I am not as worried about this game because Derrick Henry is not there. When Derrick Henry is not there, Ryan Tannehill looks very pedestrian. And on top of that, Julio Jones will not be playing. AJ Brown hurt his ribs. X-rays came back today, negative, but still, he is still a little banged up. And Bud Dupree, Titans linebacker, is on IR, so he will not be playing. I'm going to say it. This is almost, to me, I'm going into this game almost as confident as I was against the Browns game, if we're being just flat out honest, because I don't think that Ryan Tannehill is very good without Derrick Henry or without a threatening running game behind him. And Adrian Peterson, I'm sorry, I love him. He's my favorite running back I've ever seen. He's no Derrick Henry. Right now, he's no Derrick Henry. So I don't think this one's going to be that close. The Titans, they have the 9th worst pass defense. So I think Mac Jones is going to surprise people this game because I think the Titans are going to want to stop the run. I think Mac Jones kind of has a little party, throws for like 250, a couple touchdowns.
Dare I say another virtuoso?
I honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. The Titans are not great defending the pass. They're not great.
But we've also seen them shut down like Matt Stafford, which is weird. So like they have these anomaly games where they do. But I mean, obviously, I'm not going to count on that against the Patriots. Bill Belichick's in John Wick mode right now. He's just going through murking everyone. Yeah. So I'm not particularly scared.
Schedule. I want to see who. He is right now. Bill Belichick is pretty much. He's got all the. He's ready to go. He's sitting there looking at the league. He's like, listen, Vrabel, I lost to you last season. I mean, I lost to you in 29. It was embarrassing. Not going to happen this time. There's no Derrick Henry to worry about. Ryan Tannehill, I think Belichick going against Tannehill, having the extra couple days to game plan against him is just going to be, icing on the cake because
he's already
seen Ryan Tannehill
times. Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think he's worried about it at all. The Titans don't have a particularly easy schedule. Like I'd say it's very middle of the road difficulty wise. After the Patriots, they got the Jags. That's a division rival. I figure the Jags have to get one more win this season at some point. I don't know if it comes against the Titans. I think it could. Then they have the Steelers. I think that's a loss. I think the Steelers look surprisingly okay. The 49ers are, always a tough team. They'll run the hell out of the ball.
They're tough.
I think they could definitely lose that one. The Dolphins, I think that they get that win. And then against the Texans, they just got clapped by the Texans, absolutely assaulted. So that's a wild card. I don't know what the hell happens to that one. Usually I think they split. So I think the Titans could and likely will win that one too. But anything's possible with T-Mobile at quarterback.
Yeah. I love Tyrod Taylor. So
oh my God, I adore Tyrod Taylor.
I think he could beat him.
Now that's somebody who I would have loved in a Patriots uniform.
Yeah. Kind of you got probably the guy that kind of paved the way for him in Cam Newton, kind of.
Yeah, Mike Vick, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Vic.
Because they were on the same high school team, and then they went to the same college, and then he took Mike Vick's high school number to try and pay tribute to him. Yeah, no, they're buddy.
Yeah,
it's all about the slickest, the quickest, the Michael Vick.
I love Michael Vick. Matty B, Titans. What do you think? How do you feel about this game?
I feel good about this game. Like you said, Mike, they got one of the worst passing defenses in the league. There's no Derrick Henry, no Julio Jones. AJ Brown's banged up. Adrian Peterson's a dinosaur.
Okay, well.
Hey, I let you talk your nonsense. Let me talk my nonsense.
Hey now.
Jeremy McNichols sucks. Ryan Tannehill is an average quarterback going up against one of the best defenses in the league. And as long as I do my Sunday ritual, the Patriots should win this since they haven't lost since I've been starting to do this. So.
What is that ritual, by the way, Maddie? You kind of teased it with me when you were texting me. You're like, "Oh, I gotta do this ritual now," and I'm like, "Well, don't tell me now. Save it for the podcast." But what it
involves this is by far one of the dumbest. This makes no sense. But since the Panther, I think it was the Panthers game, because who did we play before the Panthers? It was the Jets, right?
The Jets, yeah.
Okay, so I missed that game because I was at the Bruins and Sharks, and the Sharks lost that because they're the Sharks. But the Panthers game. Every Sunday, what I always do on Sundays is there's a Dunkin' Donuts right up the road from me, as usual. There's 45 million of these in the good old state of Massachusetts. I don't know what's like Florida. But
no, they're not that. There's more like Starbucks and things like that. Which Starbucks is still fine, but nothing.
Yeah, Starbucks is great on its own.
No, it's not. Starbucks is terrible.
Okay, Liam, read a book once in a while. But
nothing to do with my coffee consumption.
but
they charge $8 for a grande, which isn't even a large. It's a medium. It's doesn't make sense. It's floppy bullshit.
It doesn't make sense. But anyways, Matty B, Dunks.
Anyway, so there's a Dunks up the road from me. It's in the same building as a 7-Eleven. That's important because I go to Dunks. I order on the app specifically around 12:30 is when because 1 o'clock rolls around. That's when I start really my day basically on Sundays.
Nice.
Get the 2 breakfast sandwiches that I get the 2 hash browns because their hash browns are delicious. Pay for that, all that stuff. Go over there, pick it up.
You pay for it? Sucks.
I know it sucks, but so you got to pay.
Corporation, just walk out. Tell them to get fucked.
But anyway, so then I walk to the 7-Eleven coolers, grab one of their subs from over there. Walk to the chip aisle, grab a big bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, pay for that, go home, watch the, get through the Dunk stuff first, wait a little bit because that's a lot of food to intake at once. Wait a little bit, and then have the 7-Eleven stuff. I have been doing this since the Panthers game. Patriots are on a winning streak right now. There's one.
You have to keep going.
Yeah, there's one problem with that, Sully. This Sunday I have to go to a wedding. So
that's your problem.
You find
so I got to figure out
at
at 12:30 how to figure. I got to figure out at 12:30 how can I do this? Because if the Patriots lose on Sunday, just know it's because I wasn't able to do the ritual. Because I was told, hey, just do it all in the morning, like before you leave the house to head over to the venue for the day. Because I'm in the wedding, so I have to be there extra early.
Ooh.
But as I told the person,
open bar.
What?
Is it open bar?
I hope so, but it's at a fancy golf course
Usually that's the deciding factor if I go or not. My buddy's getting married. He was
it's a military wedding, so we'll see. But
definitely open bar.
Yeah, that's honestly what I'm thinking.
If I was in the military, I'd have to drink. So
yeah, me too. But it's just if the Patriots lose Sunday, it's because just know I wasn't able to do it at 12:30. I might have to do it at an earlier time. I've never tried it at an earlier time. I don't know if the mojo is the same or not. But
as for the game, I'm gonna be furious at you. I hope
you guys are more than welcome to blow up my phone if they end up losing on Sunday because you guys in reality
I'm gonna blow you up.
Yeah,
well, that's fine.
Your house.
That's not fine. Well, I rent this place, so don't do that. But
you won't have to pay for
yourself.
But as for the game itself, I really don't think there should be too much. There's going to be an issue because there's Harold Landry on the defensive side of the ball. He's been great this year for the Titans defense. He has.
Yeah.
But as long as Mac is able to do what he's been doing for the past couple of weeks, as long as the offensive line, keeps blocking, as long, Isaiah Wynn, everyone likes to get on him because, he is the weakest link of the offensive line, in my opinion. But no, Sully, shut up.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just I'm actively listening. I'm making faces so you see that I'm listening.
He does do a good job. It's just sometimes if he's on point, he's very good. If he's not on, if he's just slightly off, but overall, I think this game is gonna be a close game, and I'm hoping the Patriots pull this off because that would be great.
Liam, you making faces?
Liam's just mad that I called Adrian Peterson an old.
I am. I'm not over that, but
don't bring that back.
Are you just trying to backtrack because you can't do your ritual? You think they're going to lose, so now you're trying to look for an excuse of why they lose? Is Harold Landry III your difference maker in this game?
Great for that Tennessee defense.
He's been good. I don't think he's a difference maker. Certainly not against Bill Belichick. He's another piece of the puzzle. Bill's going to move him around. Doesn't even matter.
Do you know Harold Landry's stats?
I do. I'm well aware. I know where.
I'm sure Myles Garrett has better stats than he did.
Judon has better stats.
And what did Myles Garrett do against us again? Oh yeah, was that a sack?
He got blocked,
in the first quarter
by N'Keal Harry.
Yeah, and then a whole lot of nothing. So I don't know why you're reaching for Harold Landry. You might as well
say he's their best player on defense. That's why I'm mentioning him.
I'm more scared of their long snapper than I am Harold Landry III. I think he's an irrelevant piece. He's a good player. He's having a good year, but there's a difference between having a good year and then having a good game against the Patriots.
Why? You know why I think Matty's like this? Matty, because I think what you are even unknowingly suffering from right now, I think that you have an internal fear to be too confident about this team. That's what I think it is. So I think subconsciously you are trying to just think of a way that the Titans could possibly beat the Patriots. And if one of those ways would come to fruition, it would be the immortal Harold Landry.
Who hurt you, Matty B? Because it couldn't have been the Patriots because they've, been to 6 Super Bowls every year. They're in the championship game, except for last year. And even then, they kind of overachieved for the team they had. Why'd you do that?
Fear. It's fear. That's what it is. Fear.
Listen, when you're facing the number 1 seed in the AFC, you got to think of all possibilities, no matter what. True.
And I get it, Matty. And the thing is, I understand because I thought that too. I was like, you know what? Let me see. How can the Titans do this? But then I bring it back to what I said. I think it was last week. I don't even know if I said it on the podcast. I forget. I talk too much anyway, just in general throughout the week. I was like, I'm not gonna be holding myself back about this team. I still think the Patriots are going to make it out of the AFC. I think they're going to be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. I think
they have a first round bye at this point.
I don't. They will if the Patriots beat the Titans and the Ravens lose to the Browns. Your New England Patriots will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. The path to the Super Bowl.
The planets are aligning. The path is being made as we speak. Somebody is in the woods right now, carving through a field, making a nice, clean path to the bowl.
Yep. Honestly, it's not even and the thing is, it's not, and Liam, we've said this before, it's not just a blind bias, whatever Patriots fan thing. If you look at the field right now in the AFC, the Patriots do what you need to do to beat teams. You need to have success running the ball. You need to not commit dumb penalties, which they've stopped doing. They commit just their average amount they do every year, which is 6. That's what they've been doing. And you need to have a good special teams, you need to cover punts, cover kicks, have a good field goal kicker who, Nick Folk, ever heard of him? The greatest kicker in the world.
A Folk hero.
Yeah, he's amazing, by the way. But no, Matty, I do understand though. He's definitely someone that Belichick's going to have to game plan against. The reason I'm not worried once I think that is because I don't even remember the last defensive player that has wrecked a Patriots game. Don't give me Micah Parsons because Ed Reed I think really Von Miller did. I think havoc. A few 5 years ago
when the Patriots were down 21-3 at halftime. And
they almost came back.
The Broncos.
Yeah,
no, they did come back and win.
No, it was the playoff game is when they did.
Oh yeah, but I don't think Von Miller had a big game then. I was thinking
it was the one before. Yeah,
he knocked Stephen Ridley out and then picked up the fumble and ran it back for a touchdown. And then the Patriots came back and win because Peyton's not clutch and Edelman fucked up the whole game. Or no, Welker fucked it up.
Welker. Yeah. I think as long as you can keep Mac Jones upright, I think the Patriots defense is going to handle its business. I think that the passing game is going to surprise some people. I think it's going to be a lot more successful than people think. I do think that the running game still gets over 100 yards just because they do run it so much. But I think the Pats game, I think this is going to be the second virtuoso type performance that you're looking for. They're playing in Foxborough, I believe. That's a big thing. The Pats really want to show up for the, for the hometown crowd. So
and amend for that bad start to the season when they couldn't win a game at home. Now they got
exactly.
Script.
Yeah. Because as of right now, that's really the one thing that people are holding on to about Mac Jones. They're like, he still lost the first 4 games at home. And it's like, yeah, you're right. He definitely did. His team's 7-4 right now though. So and
now we're blowing teams out by a record margin at home.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. That's the thing. People want to, sit there and whenever a team gets beaten by the Patriots, it's, maybe they're not as good. What happened when the Pats beat the Chargers? Maybe, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Now everybody's saying how great the Chargers have been, how great Herbert is. Herbert couldn't do a thing against Belichick. The Panthers, granted, it was Sam Darnold, all that. Panthers still have a good team. Everybody, when they lost, the Panthers suck. They're horrible. The Browns, and I know it's the joke to say that the Browns suck this and that. The Browns are a good team. Let's take the nonsense out of it. They're a good team. Pats just stomped them, stepped right on their heads. It's just I'm not afraid of any team. The Steelers,
like I was saying to you, there's no team that's a complete team like the Patriots. No team on offense and defense
consistently
playing as consistently great on both sides. Obviously, the defense is much better than the offense, but the offense has picked it up head and shoulders from where we started. There's visible improvement.
Yeah. And Liam, do you remember? I think it was 3 weeks ago when you said, Mike, why are you so confident about this team? Remember that?
I do.
Remember that, friend? And you know what I said? I said, because I refuse to believe that the Pats are going to, they have to right the ship because
you said they have given you no reason not to think otherwise.
Exactly. And for the most part, they've righted pretty much everything. Now when we watch the Pats, it's pretty much just, I go into every game with the same confidence now. If they lose, I'm surprised. It's kind of
back to the old days.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Matty, do you feel the same way? Because right now I obviously not as confident as when Brady was here, but I go into every game saying, the Pats are going to win this one.
Based on what I've seen for the past 5 games, I don't see why they should I'll be surprised if they lose. Like if they lose to like a last second field goal or something, that's different.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say I'm gonna play hypothetical here before you two jump on me. But let's do a hypothetical here.
The only way to get me to stop attacking you when he's talking about Harold Landry.
Harold.
Okay, let's hypothetically, let's say Tennessee comes in here comes to Gillette on Sunday and just smacks around the Patriots the entire time, and kind of did what Mike Vrabel did to the Patriots a few years ago. I would be surprised by that. That's something I would be very surprised by.
Shocked. I would be.
That made me rethink. I would text you after the game and be like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. No, that would make me rethink a lot of that. I would still think the Patriots are still great and everything, but that would make me be like, wait a minute, like maybe they're kind of like we said, Liam, I think it was when they were playing the Browns. It was like, hey, if they lose to the Browns, what does this make you think? X, Y, and Z. If they lose to the Chargers, what would you think? What would you think? And it was kind of like, if they lost to the Browns,
we didn't have to think about that.
You can exactly, yeah. But I think we both had the same answer. It was like we kind of sit back and be like, wait, okay, let's actually pump the brakes a little bit because maybe they're not where they are. I have seen nothing. I'm done with waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think this is the Patriots team we have. They're going to run you over. They're going to bully you. They're going to push you up and down the field. I think David Andrews said it in one of those sights and sounds. I think it was against the Browns. Look at that. Sights and sounds against the Browns. When he was like, we're going to make them play Dr. our football. Seuss over here. It's not, Dr. Seuss. It's not pretty. It's grown man football. They're going to push you around. That's what the Patriots want to do. This is what Bill Belichick wants to do. This is what he did in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. This is the same brand of football they're playing, just updated for 2021. I don't think my confidence has ever been higher in this team in the last year and a half than it is right now going into this Titans game, especially because it's at home. Belichick has an axe to grind with Vrabel too. I feel like that's something.
If they did get blown off the field, my first instinct would be to text Matty B and say, you never go to another wedding, and every Sunday at 12:30 you're at Dunkin' Donuts at 7-Eleven, you're nowhere else. In fact, I'm going to monitor and make sure you're at those places.
Yeah.
But I would just be stunned because that's not what you want to see from a team, especially against kind of a rivalry game with this between Belichick and Vrabel. All the players pick up on that. People with any football knowledge whatsoever know that Mike Vrabel was a great Patriots linebacker who caught basically more touchdowns in the Super Bowl than any other Patriots receiver consistently. Really, he was ridiculous, but he was an outside linebacker. So if they were to get blown, I would be petrified because then it's like, we've been standing in this glass house for the last 5 weeks talking so much shit to everyone outside, like, we're winning it all. And then all they need is some light pebble to bring us crashing back down. Because that would be devastating. The Titans they're a fine team. They're a good team. I think they're a middle of the road team, despite the fact that they're in first right now. I think they make it to the playoffs and get bounced in the first or second round, depending on who they play. If we were to get smoked by them, I get it any given Sunday, but it would just be a huge, like, deteriorating feeling of, oh no, this team is not what we thought it was.
It would definitely knock us down because I am far past the point of no return when it comes to talking shit and kind of defending this. We are too far gone at this point. Mike
was roasting some poor Bills fan on Instagram yesterday. I've been talking shit to Josie for basically since the Cowboys game, and I'll continue to do so.
We have to, because you know what, as a fan, this is when it's fun as a fan, because the odds are, which is the funny thing, your season's going to end in heartbreak. We're going to feel like shit. Those are the odds. But that's what makes it so great, because when it does come to fruition, when it does all come together, it makes it that much better. Because you can be like, I was saying this shit in week 5, week 6, week 7, when everybody was hesitant and reluctant to say that, oh, this is a Super Bowl contending team. This is that. This team is, X, Y, and Z. No. I'm saying this is the hill that I'm picking to die on. The Patriots are the best team in the AFC. I don't care. You can say they're not the most talented. They're not the most skilled, but no, just the overall best. There is not a team. And yes, I include the Chiefs in this. The Chiefs, because if you watch any Chiefs game, Patrick Mahomes is throwing to open receivers for the most part. That's what's happening. If you don't blow coverage, or if you can just kind of scheme up a way to kind of contain them, which Belichick has done, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of the point of the Chiefs offense, though, where it's like, as much as you want to bottle them up, they're eventually going to get a big play or two. Like even Bill Belichick, like he does as well with Tyreek Hill as any team has ever done. And I still went to a game in Foxborough where Tyreek had like 110 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Patriots. In the playoffs, he had 1 catch for 80 yards. And that was all he did. But that one play, they eventually broke through, got him down the sideline, and then they scored on that play. So they're on offense that's just persistent, and they're not going to give up. They're like that. You get in a fight with like that big, dumb dolt, like the stereotypical meathead who has no regard for his body, even if he's not tougher than you, and you knock him down 1,000,000 times, he's going to get up 1,000,001 times. If you drive away to your house, he'll start walking to your house and get there 4 hours later. If you drive to California, he'll be there in 2 months. He's just not going to give up. He's going to keep coming after you. That's this Chiefs offense with their guys. They're eventually going to break through. They're eventually going to be there, and they are an extremely difficult offense to take down. They would be the only other team I'd truly be scared of. Again, I'm not – I want to say the Ravens, but I have less confidence in them now. Lamar's banged up, and all their players keep going down. They're basically on their 8th string running back. I'm losing confidence in the Ravens, so I don't know who that next team is here, where I'm like, we could lose to who?
It's not the Bills.
Only the Chiefs. No,
it's not the Bills.
It's not the Bills. If we see the Bills in the playoffs,
I'm not worried. The Steelers in the playoffs, I'm not worried about. Again, you said with the Chiefs, and the thing is, while you are containing them, that's when you need to take advantage. That's when you need to score. You need to score touchdowns. You need to score often. And you really just need to control the time of possession, which again, that's why I'm not worried about the majority of the teams, because if you can run the ball and own the time of possession, that's how teams used to beat the Patriots when they had Brady back in the heyday. That's how teams would beat them. The best way to beat a team is to not have them on the field. That's really what it comes down to. But Harold Landry, though. No. Matty B, honestly, that is probably second to maybe AJ Brown, the only other thing you have to worry about in this game, I would say.
And AJ Brown's hurt in this, is going to be hurting in this game. Yeah. He went to the locker room. I think he went to the locker room twice. I know he went once. I don't know if he went the other time, but
he might not have went, but he was banged up. Yeah.
He's banged up. So
hey,
who do you think
one crossing route, Duggar puts him in the ground, he'll be back to the locker room.
Do you think that they put Jackson on him? Do you think they bracket him? What do you think?
They will put JC on him.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens. If AJ Brown looks like AJ Brown when he's healthy, bracket him with him and Kyle Duggar. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can put Jackson on because Jackson can recover. He's quick. And honestly, I think if there is the time where, Brown gets over the top of Jackson, you still got McCourty back there. McCourty still is one of the smartest safeties, at least in the league. You can say he's not the best, whatever. But so I'm not worried about AJ Brown that much. Again, it's kind of one of those things where a lot of teams, when they play the Patriots, no matter what year it is, whatever your go-to guy is on offense doesn't always perform, or even if he gets the stats, they're empty stats. It's just, it's
kind of the random guys that'll screw us.
Yeah. Like it would be, I don't even know. Like I can't even name
is
Humphreys. Is Humphreys on there?
Humphreys?
Right. I think Humphreys.
We both said
Adam
Humphreys.
Adam Humphreys is going to have 100-yard game. Watch.
They signed Josh Reynolds too. He could be good. But
I don't know. Nothing about this Titans team scares me without Derrick Henry. If they had
Derrick
Henry,
I'm scared shitless of Adrian Peterson. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Because he can rattle off a good game anytime. Because he is still Adrian Peterson. But there's nothing on this team that scares me. Matty, you said you thought it was going to be close. I don't think this is a close one. I think this is another 23 to 9 game. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think, I don't know how the scores happen, whether the Titans get a touchdown, miss an extra point, get a field goal, whatever they want to do. I'm going 23 to 9. I don't think that the Titans break double digits.
I got them 17-7. So I think it's low scoring affair, but they don't do much. I got them 17-7. Matty B, what are you thinking?
I can tell you the Titans wide receiver situation right now for Sunday, most likely.
What?
All right. So AJ Brown, he's gonna play. He's gonna play unless he seriously can't go.
Oh yeah, he has to. Yeah, he has to. Yeah. Come on.
That's their only chance.
Okay, I'm gonna name off all the receivers that aren't on IR or anything like that. I'm gonna exclude the running backs from this. This is just strictly the receivers. You got Nick Westbrook Akinney. I don't know who that is.
Fake person.
Yeah, that's
fake name.
CPU.
Marcus Johnson. Don't know who that is.
He's pretty okay.
Des Fitzpatrick. He had a touchdown last. He had their only touchdown last week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe one of those.
And Chester Rogers.
Okay, guy named Chester is not beating the Patriots. What's their tight end situation look like? I forget who they have on
Anthony
tight ends.
Ferkser's not. He's not horrible.
Michael Pruitt, Ferkser, Tommy Hudson. Their running backs are Peterson, Foreman, McNichols who's hurt right now. Then Dontrell Hilliard.
Okay.
You think Anthony Ferkser?
I mean, someone's going to have to do something. I don't. Yeah. That if anything, what you just did there just solidified the fact that I am not.
I'm gonna roll.
I'm not.
Just because I know you guys don't want to score for me. I'm gonna roll 31-17 New England.
Ooh. You think the Titans are going to score 17?
I think it's going to be mainly field goals with one touchdown.
There'll be a garbage thing at the end, maybe, or something, or at the beginning. It's either going to happen at the beginning or the end. That's why I think the scoring is going to happen.
I'm rolling 31-17 just because
17.
Because Foreman's looked good at running back. Peterson, as much of a dinosaur as he is, he's looked decent for them.
He's like Frank Gore, the guy just doesn't age.
And Tannehill's going to have to throw the ball. So he's going to have to throw it to somebody. So,
yeah. You know, he's going to throw it to JC Jackson. For being honest. If you guys watched that Titans game, the Tannehill looked like maybe a slight step above Miami Tannehill. He's not
that last game.
He's not seeing the field. And then you got to think, not only is he going to have to try to throw to these nameless, like you said, computer generated names that he's got out there, but he's also going to have Judon, Kyle Vannoy, Juwan Bentley is going to murder him. I think Tannehill gets beat up in this game. I think because he's going to have to pass it. Like you guys said, and when you have to pass, Belichick's going to blitz. I'm talking about Steve Belichick, Lil Belichick. He's going to throw some blitzes in there. Not a lot. I think it'll just be maybe you send one guy in there. I think Tannehill has a rough day. I'm trying to think. I can't see any way the Titans win. Unless the Patriots beat themselves. Unless
the Patriots just lay an egg on something.
Yeah. Which I mean, they have it. Which again, that's one of those things where I'm not going to sit there and expect the worst or expect something that hasn't happened for 5 games.
It's not who we are.
No. I mean, if this was the Bills, I mean, and we'll talk about the Bills next week, that's a little bit of a different conversation because I think the Bills have a team that can beat you. I think the Colts have a team that can beat you more than the Titans can. But yeah, the Titans, they're not a scary team. They're just Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, and a bunch of no-name guys that I think this Patriots defense can kind of clamp down on. They can shut them down. And I think Mac Jones has a good game. I think, like I said, 250 plus, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I think he has a really good game. I think he has a really, really good game. I think the Pats roll. So we all have the Pats winning?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if the Pats win and the Ravens lose, next week's podcast is going to be I think I might play the role of that Patriots fan that just annoys the shit out of everybody and is just so over the top confident, because if the Patriots get to 1 seed, guys, you're talking about a team that people thought if they get the 1 seed, do you think if they get the 1 seed, do you think they relinquish it? You think they drop it?
I'd have to see how everything turns out next week, but as of right now, you'd be hard pressed. to tell me to give it up to anyone but the Chiefs. If the Chiefs rattle off 7 straight wins, more power to them.
The thing is with the Chiefs, as long as they finish the same record as the Chiefs are not going to catch the Patriots in the division. Like in the division wins. Because the Patriots right now are 5-1 in the division, or 4-1 or something in their division. The Chiefs are like 2-4 or some shit like that.
The conference, not the it's the conference.
In the conference, yeah. So there is. I don't see the Chiefs catching them in that regard. They might catch them in records. I don't know. It's going to be a fun season. All I know is that this is a huge game on Sunday. If the Patriots lose,
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. But again, it's just one of those things where it just kind of, it just, it's one of those things that kind of just knocks you back down to earth. Because right now, I think all Patriots fans are kind of on cloud 9 right now. Kind of, it's our time to kind of shove it in the NFL's face. You had 1 year. You had 1 year to get better than us, and you couldn't do it. You didn't do it. You let Bill Belichick get Mac Jones.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly.
But we let them off the hook.
This is what every NFL team should be saying in their big group chat. Every NFL GM should be in a group chat without Belichick. And they're like, guys, how did we let this happen? How did we do this? How
you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
I don't understand. But yeah, again, I want to say thank you to Couch Guy Sports for allowing us to talk our shit on here. Another big thanks to shockedenergy.com. You guys have heard us talk about Shocked Energy the last few weeks. Energy drink connoisseur here. Liam needs energy too. I mean, he's working day and night. It's tough being a pseudo
late
Eagles
nights.
fan.
Burning the midnight oil.
Burn the midnight oil. But we burn the midnight watermelon shocked box. That's what we do. So
damn right.
Go to shockedenergy.com, do CGSN, get 10% off. They ship everywhere worldwide. So do not worry. No matter where you are, you will get your energy. Nice little boost, nice little kick to get you through the rest of the season, because the NFL done messed up. The NFL done messed up. They did. They did.
Smooth sailing for us.
We are doing all this without James White too, which is,
I know. Imagine we would have had the first seed like weeks ago.
James White's in the game. I think they beat the what game did we say? Was it the Bucks or the Cowboys game? We said James White was in
Bucks.
The Bucks, right? Because they would have went for it on that 4th down.
Yeah. Obviously, the ball would have went to their best player too.
Yeah. No, I think they would have won. But yeah. So I got nothing else to say. Liam, what's up, bud?
Ask Matty B a number.
Yeah, Matty B.
The number game.
Well, let me pull it up. All right. What's your number, sir? 1 to 10.
What's my range here?
I don't know. You said 1 last time. Don't pick 1.
1 to 69.
1 to 69.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. All right. I said 1 last time, so let's not do that again.
No.
Go lucky 7. Lucky 7.
Number 7. Okay. What is your least favorite memory as a Pats fan?
Ooh.
I will give mine.
This is easy. This is easy. The first Giants Super Bowl loss.
The first one?
Yeah.
That's that. Why that one out of all the other ones? Because there's been a lot. See, people say it's easy being a Patriots fan. It is not. The heartbreak is just as worse as how good the success is.
Yes.
Why is that? Well, 1, we would have had the perfect season.
Yeah.
2, that was the first time I was ever able to stay up and watch a Super Bowl from start to finish.
Oh yeah. That's a shitty way to start it.
I thought, even after the second Giants Super Bowl loss, I thought I was the problem, because I was like, all right, they all of a sudden can't win anymore when I stay awake. But then, obviously Seattle happened, Atlanta happened, LA happened. But yeah, definitely that first Giants Super Bowl loss, just because, that David Tyree catch, sorry for swearing right there, but that catch right there, just it haunts me still.
Yeah, no, that That sucked. I hated that. Like how did Rodney Harrison not knock that ball?
His arm was in between his arms holding the ball. All he would have had to do is pull his arm out.
I don't understand.
Pull it upward and knock the ball out.
If you watch that play now in 2021
over him, I don't get it.
Eli Manning would have been called in the grasp. He would have been called down. If you watch that play now, they would have called Eli Manning down because Seymour, I think it was, whoever like had him by the jersey was about to pull him down. They probably would have blew the whistle. That's a shitty one. Other than that, because that's kind of that's the biggest one. I think I'm going to go all of last season, all of 2020. There's a reason being, has nothing to do with the players, nothing to do with anything. 2020 was the first time where I was actively upset and disgruntled watching this team the entire season. It was not fun. I did not have 1 ounce of fun the entire season. It was just from everything from there not being any fans to just it not feeling weird. It was the first year post Brady, so everything just felt weird. It felt wrong. Not only did it feel wrong that Brady wasn't there, but it felt wrong because it was so weird because of COVID. I would like to wash that memory of that entire season out of my memory. It has to still happen because you need to go through that in order to get to where you are now. I understand that. But that to me, call it recency bias. That's my number 2. 2020 as a season, my least favorite memory as a Patriots fan.
Wow.
Has nothing to do with Cam Newton. Don't. Mm-hmm. I see your face.
I'm not taking it personally at all. I'm not even mad. I'm not mad.
You're disappointed.
Yeah, that's the word for it. So I'll move on to my memory. I gotta clear my head here. Okay. The most disappointing memory that comes to mind as a Patriots fan would be the 2013 AFC Championship game against the Baltimore Ravens when they went to the Super Bowl. There was 2 players on the Patriots that I would have chopped off a limb for them to get a ring. One of which, Danny Woodhead. Forever loved that guy. Forever loved Danny Woodhead. I really wanted him to get a ring. 2, the GOAT, men amongst boys, best hands I've ever seen, Brandon Lloyd. Both of them needed a ring, and Brandon Lloyd, that 1 year on the Patriots, was just football porn. Like Tom Brady to Brandon Lloyd
was good. Yeah.
There are a few sexual experiences in my life that will ever live up to what I watched when I saw Brady connect with Brandon Lloyd for touchdown passes. It was just pure gold. So when I think about how those guys didn't get a ring, and it was a great game until the third quarter when Brady threw 2 picks, both of which went to Donnell Ellerbe, and then Ray Rice broke off a fat touchdown run. That was all around just demoralizing, heartbreaking game. Joe Flacco, 3 touchdowns, no picks, en route to the best playoff performance I've ever seen from any quarterback ever. That made me like the Ravens going into the Super Bowl. And I was just disappointed that the Patriots, that if they had got there, they would have clapped the 49ers and punk-ass Colin Kaepernick. I can't imagine it would have been even close. They could have shut the lights off in that stadium for 2 days. Colin Kaepernick would not have brought them back in that game against that Patriots defense.
Nope.
We still had Vince Wilfork, who very much deserved a ring at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there are so many guys on that team that deserved a ring. That was a complete all-around team. It was devastating, especially a team that we had beat the Ravens the year before, and then we beat them the year after that too. And for them to just get it that year was brutal.
What was the I'm trying to think of where I was during that game. That was exactly not fun. Yeah, no, that was not fun. I think was it in, I'm trying to look, was it 2010? Yeah, that was when the first play of the game, Ray Rice broke off like a 90-yard touchdown.
No, that was the Billy Cundiff game.
That was
the Patriots won that.
No, they lost the one I'm thinking of. Then that's not the same one. Then it's not the same.
Yeah,
one.
No, the one that where Ray Rice
talking about, Mike.
Ray Rice had the touchdown on the first play against the game where in the game that Billy Cundiff missed the field goal. So I'm talking about
they lost 33-14. The Pats lost that one.
The one where Ray Rice had a touchdown on the first play?
83-yard touchdown.
That was a wild card game.
That's what it was. It was the wild card game. Yeah. The Billy Cundiff one was later. The Billy Cundiff one was
So Billy Cundiff one was the one to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Never mind. So okay. So I just blended them together here. It was 2013 though. I guess it was a wild card. But Brady threw 2 picks, both to some relevant running back. But to relevant linebacker, I mean.
Yeah. Remind me, but not now. I'll do it at one point. I have a funny Danny Woodhead story. It got awkward.
Danny Woodhead.
It got actually, you know what? I'll tell the story now since we're and then we'll sign off. So it was when I was with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I forget when it was. We were together for like 5-6 years or something. Yeah. Yes, sir. She put a ring on it.
She liked it, so she put a ring.
We were watching. I think it was Easter. It was some holiday. We were at her grandparents' house. It was grandparents, family, cousins, her dad, her mom. We were all in the basement watching the Patriots. Danny Woodhead.
Does he threaten death upon you, or is it?
No, but he's an intimidating man. Cool. But Danny Woodhead, some catch, I forget what happened, right? Everybody's like, yeah, Danny Woodhead, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there and I go, oh yeah, everybody loves Goodhead. So I get awkward just saying it now. It was one of those things where I could see the words leaving my mouth. And I remember it just got silent. I stayed looking right at the TV. Mind you, I think at this point I was like 19 too. So this wasn't like now, Mike. No, see your guys' faces right now. I am living secondhand because I didn't even, it just in my head, Danny Woodhead, Danny Goodhead. He's good. So I took out the wood, but I wasn't even talking about actual head. No, it was not sexual. It was just
Oh, so you took out the wood, huh? Wait, so you're talking about Goodhead and you took out the wood, huh?
As I was saying it, to this day, I'll think about it probably once a month, and I will get anxious. I was like, oh, like right as I said it, I was like, this was well, how did we get here? Want to get away? That commercial? Yeah.
Yes. It was like the beginning of the movie where it's like freeze frame. You're probably wondering how I ended up here.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if it like this might just be in my head. It felt like everybody in the room went.
Oh my
and turned and looked. I don't think that's what happened, but I know some people did. I don't think anybody laughed, if I remember correctly, except maybe me. But it was a like, horrible.
Goodhead, get it?
Everybody loves Goodhead, and I was like, as I was saying, I was like, probably better not. Shouldn't.
You're looking over at the girlfriend like fist bump.
He was sitting next to me too. Didn't look at her, just straight ahead. I do remember distinctly just looking right at the TV, just like that. Just said it and just.
Then the next play happens. Mike's like, "Whoo, what a good play that was!"
Like, there's that Danny Woodhead again, huh, guys? Remember that joke? So that's my Danny Woodhead.
That's really
story.
bad. That's really bad. That is super bad.
My palms are sweaty just saying it because that's how it was not fun. It was not fun for me. But yeah, anyways, guys, so that was story time with Tuck Rule Takes. Guys, you have any parting words before we get out?
I have to pee.
There we go. Okay, then on that note, for Liam McDade, for Matty, don't call me 2 T's, Matty B. I am Mike Sullivan. Guys, this was Tuck Rule Takes. We'll see you next week, hopefully after a Patriots win. Let's go. First place.
Sweet feet. Good head.
Sweet feet.